This is an ABC News special report.
And good morning, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips. We are coming on the air with reports of a school shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That shooting occurring at Annunciation Catholic School. All of this during the first week of classes. We are told the gunfire erupted during school drop-off. There are reports of multiple victims. We cannot confirm a number right now, but police are clearing buildings in the area, saying that the shooter has been contained and there is no active threat to the community at this point. The FBI and ATC are responding. Governor Tim Walz calling it a horrific act of violence. Let's get straight to our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky. Aaron, bring us up to date on what you know right now.
This is at the Annunciation Catholic Church and its adjacent school, Kira. It appears that the gunman targeted the school around the time of either drop-off or as a morning mass may have been underway, opened fire. There are multiple victims, we're told, both injured and deceased. We're working to confirm an exact number, but it seems like there are going to be a number of casualties associated with yet another school shooting in the country. As you heard, the governor called it a horrific act of violence, but there is no longer, according to authorities in Minneapolis, believed to be an ongoing threat because the shooter, as authorities put it, is contained. We're hearing from multiple sources that the gunman may have been killed by a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but there are conflicting reports coming out of Minneapolis, so we await additional confirmation. But the authorities, Kira, say there is no longer a threat, but still an incredible law enforcement response at this Catholic church because there are believed to be multiple victims, again, both injured and deceased.
We're also getting a statement from President Trump as well. We'll have that in just a moment. But Aaron, I understand that parents right now at this moment, understandably, are extremely concerned that they have been running to the school, trying to get information. Has there been, does it seem like the area has been completely cleared? Do we know if agents are trying to account for other students or teachers or individuals that have been shot? Is this ongoing where they just can't confirm a number? Clearly, parents are very concerned right now, and they're watching the network trying to get information.
No question, Kira. It's a parent's instinct to run toward your kid to make sure they're safe. The authorities are telling parents to please stay away from the school for now. They're urging everyone to stay away from the area as the authorities continue to clear the school and account for all of the victims. The working assumption anytime there's one of these mass shootings is that there could be additional threats from explosives, an additional shooter. There's no evidence of that right now, Kira, but the authorities are still working to clear the scene. So they're urging parents to stay away, let police do their work, as difficult as that will be for any parent. But they do believe there is no additional threat. Our sources have told us that the shooter is dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
All right, we can now confirm the shooter dead of self-inflicted gunshot wound. Stay with me, Aaron. I also want to bring in our ABC News contributor, former FBI agent Richard Frankel. Richard, just your thoughts as we start to get all this information in, trying to confirm numbers, possibly these injuries, possible deaths. We can now report the shooter dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Bring us up to date on what you know, Richard.
Yeah, so this incident, happened again on the first day or second day of school, first week of school. From what I understand, possibly they were on their way or in mass at a Catholic school. So all the kids were brought together. We don't know enough about the shooter yet because he is dead. They should be able to identify him fairly quickly. But we don't know if this was targeted at a person at the school itself, or was just to cause terror to an unknown or unconnected target. The investigation is going to go directly into his motive. Why did he do this, and why was he attacking these children? Again, we just don't know if how many victims there are. If it's multiple victims, were some targeted and others just happen to be in a terrible place at a terrible time, or was this the intent of the shooter? This is everything that the FBI is going to be looking at as they move forward. They're going to be looking at motive. They're going to be looking at opportunity. They're going to look at all the whys and wherefores. They're going on social media. They're going to do a complete background into the shooter and find out why he did this. That's going to be the focus of the FBI investigation. At the same time, you've got first responders who are dealing immediately with the injured and those who have been killed.
So, Richard, this is coming off of shootings that took place yesterday as well, just trying to put together the incidents and what we know. 3 people were killed in 3 shootings in Minneapolis in just the past 15 hours or so, including a fatal incident in downtown Minneapolis today. And now we are reporting on this school shooting, where we're trying to get details about the shooter, about the injured. Do you have any idea if any of this is connected?
No, I personally don't know if this is connected. I do believe that is something that the FBI and local law enforcement is going to look into. It could just be a coincidence and bad timing. There could be something that caused somebody to act out after a shooting. We just don't know at this point. But all of that is going to be looked at as potential motive for the shooter. Whenever you have multiple acts of violence, you always do look to see if they are connected. Many of the time they're not. They just happen to be independent acts. But it is something that they will look into.
And right now, Governor Tim Walz saying, I've been briefed on this shooting at Annunciation Catholic School and will continue to provide updates as we get information. The BCA and State Patrol are on the scene. I'm praying for our kids and teachers whose first week of school was marred by this horrific act of violence. We're also hearing from the President of the United States, President Trump, via Truth Social. I've been fully briefed on the tragic shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The FBI quickly responded. They are on the scene. The White House will continue to monitor this terrible situation. Please join me in praying for everyone involved. Let's get to our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas. Pierre, what are you learning at this hour?
Well, we've spoken to multiple sources, and they are confirming that there are multiple injuries. We have a specific number that is very concerning. We're not releasing that yet until we can do additional reporting, but we are told that there are multiple injuries, and we also have the information that the shooter has been contained. We're trying to get more specific about that, but the police there believe that the threat is over. I'm sure that they will be doing some additional canvassing to make sure that is the case, but what we're being told is, again, multiple injuries. The FBI, ATF, and multiple federal agencies are offering their support. And here's yet again another case of a mass shooting in this country, Kira, and law enforcement officials are sick about it. And it comes during a period, Kira, where we've had just a steady spate of high-profile incidents in public places. It all started in earnest in terms of my sources saying with the assassination attempt against President Trump while he was campaigning for the presidency. We had a terror attack on New Year's Day. We've had diplomats from the Israeli embassy killed here in this country. Minnesota just recently, just a few months ago, had those state officials who were shot and killed. So law enforcement is in the midst of a terrible period and trend, and now they're going to have to redouble their efforts to try to get a better sense of how to prevent these kinds of ongoing incidents.
Do we know what's happening in Minneapolis, Pierre? I mean, now this is the 4th shooting that has happened since yesterday.
Well, obviously, police there are going to have to relook at their efforts. But right now, the concern is making sure that they get the support and help to everyone who's been injured at that scene, trying to figure out what they can about the suspect who is contained. I'm sure there will be briefings in the coming hours and minutes from now, we hope. But again, just a horrible situation. It's a school. And as has been pointed out, there are young people that attend that school. I understand it's from K through the 8th grade. So we're talking about the youngest among us who experienced a horrible, tragic event, no matter how many people were injured. So again, gunfire, another public place in this country.
And Pierre, I'm just getting numbers told to me via our producers now in my ear. At least 2 people confirmed dead, at least 12 people confirmed injured. I know you need to get on the horn with your sources to find out if you can see if there's any additional information we can add to that. Pierre, hopefully we can come back to you momentarily. I do want to take it to the White House now. Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, joining us by phone. We saw that the president did put out a statement, Mary, and that the White House has all eyes on this incident in Minneapolis right now.
Kira, the president, of course, being monitored on this and closely monitoring it. As you mentioned, the president posted just a short while ago on Truth Social saying he's been fully briefed on this tragic shooting. He added that the FBI quickly responded, that they're there on the scene, as we know, and he says the White House will continue to monitor this terrible situation, adding, please join me in praying for everyone involved. The president does not have anything on his public schedule today. He was a day that he was supposed to be spending behind closed doors. Of course, it is his team that is keeping him updated on this, but we have no information on when and if we would hear from the president in person about this. But as Pierre noted, I mean, this is unfortunately a situation and a statement that we have, heard from the president in the past far too often. He has to be updated and informed of yet another shooting in America. This one, of course, at a school, which makes the situation, sensitive for many, many reasons. But the president, once again, having to deal with the shooting in America and having to respond. The FBI, as you mentioned, of course, is aware of those reports. We saw that statement from FBI Director Kash Patel reiterating that FBI, agents are on the scene and that they are asking everyone to keep potential victims, in your prayers. But right now we are at the stage of this where certainly everyone is monitoring, everyone is being updated because, of course, it is an ongoing situation.
Mary, thank you. I want to take it right back to our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky. Aaron, we know at least 2 people confirmed dead now, at least 12 injured at this school shooting at the Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis. What more do we know?
We've started to hear from eyewitnesses, including parents, who say they were at the school attending Mass when they say that the gunman just burst in with some kind of semi-automatic weapon and began spraying bullets, hitting the stained glass and firing everywhere, seemingly at random. According to at least one eyewitness, there may have been 50 to 100 shots. We know from multiple law enforcement sources there are at least 2 people dead and more than a dozen injured. These numbers may fluctuate. They are preliminary and subject to change. But according to eyewitness accounts we're now hearing, the Mass was underway at the school. Parents were there in addition to children. And so we now have more than a dozen injured and sadly, Kira, at least 2 people dead.
All right, let's bring in our Chief Justice Correspondent, Pierre Thomas now. Pierre, what more are you learning as we get this information from Aaron? These eyewitnesses saying that the gunman apparently stormed Mass, opening fire. Sources telling us at least 2 people dead, at least 12 injured. Aaron telling us the same thing. Now the FBI on the scene. What more do we know?
Well, Kara, I'm going to read from some guidance I've gotten from a very senior law enforcement official. The person notes that this information is very fluid, but I'm going to read you what was sent to me. At approximately 8:30 local time, a male suspect entered Annunciation Church while school was in session and began shooting. Victim count is still being developed, and the situation is being cleared in terms of buildings. The suspect was found. It has been located and is contained according to this information. That the information is still fluid and the scene is ongoing and being secured. Kira, it's clear to me based on this information that you had a completely horrific scenario where an active school, parents, children being brought to the facility, and this takes place at about 8:30 local time according to this bulletin that I'm reviewing sent to me by a source. Again, the horrific situation unfolding yet again for those most vulnerable in our country, the children.
Pierre, thank you. Once again, if you are just tuning in, Governor Tim Walz saying that he has been briefed on this shooting at Annunciation Catholic School. The President of the United States also monitoring this shooting in Minneapolis. You have all agencies on the scene, from the ATF to the FBI to the police department. We are getting word possibly the gunman is dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. At least 2 people reported dead, at least 12 injuries. We will continue to follow this story for you. Our coverage will continue on ABC News Live as well, also abcnews.com. We'll have a full report on World News tonight. I'm Kira Phillips. Thanks for being with us.
This has been a special report from ABC News.